Hey guys, welcome to another top 10 list. Here's my top 10 list for my favourite Touchstone Pictures movies. Last time I did a top 10 list for my favourite films from the studio. I did my top 20 favourite Universal movies. People really enjoyed that, so let's try and keep this flowing with Touchstone Pictures. Another studio alongside with a lot of movies, but these are just my 10 favourites. So let's get to it. And as always, before top 10 lists, you gotta have your honourable mentions, and my honourable mentions are Dead Poets Society, Face Off, Pretty Woman, Starship Troopers, Turner and Hooch, Fright Night, the 2011 remake, The Help, Warhorse, Dick Tracy, 10 Things I Hate About You, Oh Brother Where Art Thou, and The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. All solid films, just couldn't make the top 10 list. But what did make the top 10 was Tim Burton's Ed Wood. Ed Wood is another one of my favourite Tim Burton films. It's a great, sort of biopic movie about one of the worst filmmakers called Ed Wood. Johnny Depp gives brilliant performances and charismatic performances as Ed Wood. Martin Landau is great as Bela Lugosi. Bill Murray is really good in this film too as John Breckinridge. Love the black and white cinematography. It's a great film, and I think those who love cinema definitely need to go and check this out. So yeah. Number 9 is The Colour of Money. Definitely one of my favourite Martin Scorsese movies, right up there with Goodfellas, Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, and a few others. It's a damn great sequel to The Hustler, which is really good, but I think I like this sequel even more. Paul Newman and Tom Cruise are both so good in this film. The pool scenes are great. Love The Colour of Money. Number 8, I have Shanghai Noon. Shanghai Noon is such a great feel-good movie. It's a great martial arts movie, but also a great western about this sheriff and an imperial guard who team up to save his princess. Has some great funny moments. Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson have such good chemistry. Lucy Liu is great as the princess. The way Owen Wilson is teaching Jackie Chan to be a cowboy when he doesn't know how to be a cowboy is hilarious, and the action is kick-ass. I enjoy this movie a lot. For number 7, I have Air Force One. Air Force One is a really good film with Harrison Ford as this president who attempts to rescue everyone on board on his plane when a group of terrorists hijack his plane. It's a great action-adventure film. It's definitely sort of similar to Die Hard, except it takes place on a plane. Gary Oldman is awesome as the villain. Glenn Close is good in the movie too, and he's easily one of my favourites. For number 6, I have Good Morning Vietnam. Good Morning Vietnam is another one of my favourite Robin Williams movies. It's a great dramatic war comedy film set during the Vietnam War, where he plays this radio host who's in Vietnam, hosting all the soldiers and cheers up on the day with some morning jokes in the morning broadcast. Very funny and very deep movie as well. Robin Williams is so great in this film, as he always has been when he did a lot of movies. Has some emotional moments about the war. Definitely check it out. For number 5, I have Splash. Splash is a really good fantasy comedy film starring Tom Hanks as this man who falls in love with this woman called Madison, who he finds out is a mermaid. It's also a great, beautiful romance story. I think Tom Hanks gives a delightful performance. Daryl Hannah is really good as Madison the mermaid. John Candy and Eugene Levy are really great in it too. And it always puts a smile on my face, so yeah, Splash. Love it. For number 4, I have one of my favourite Christopher Nolan films, The Prestige. The Prestige is such a great movie. Definitely one of my favourite Christopher Nolan films. That's right up there with the Dark Knight trilogy, Oppenheimer, Memento, and Inception. It's got a clever and very thought-provoking story about these two rival musicians in Victorian London who have a feud over a teleportation trick. Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale all give solid performances. The supporting cast is really good too, such as from basically Scarlett Johansson, Michael Caine, David Bowie, and Andy Serkis. It has such creative ideas. I love it. For number 3, I went with I have Unbreakable. Already just talked about this movie a lot in my favourite A to Z favourite movies. Sorry, already talked about this movie in my favourite movies from A to Z videos. So I don't really need to say much else other than this and The Sixth Sense are my 2 favourite M. Night Shyamalan movies. It's an interesting superhero film as well. And both Bruce Willis and Samuel Jackson did give top-notch performances, so yeah. Coming at number 2 is Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Easily my second favourite Robert Zemeckis film. Back to the Future is obviously my number 1 favourite, but this is a great movie that everyone knows about. It's groundbreaking for its time with the way it blends the animation with live action. It's a great detective film about this detective called Eddie Valiant, played by Bob Hoskins, who has to find out who murdered this person because they think everyone in Toontown thinks it was Roger Rabbit did it, and he has to prove Roger Rabbit's innocence and find out who killed this person. So clever, super funny. Love the cameos of many of the Disney characters, the Warner Brothers characters, and Christopher Lloyd is brilliant as the villain, Judge Durham. It's fantastic. But my number 1 favourite Touchstone movie is The Nightmare Before Christmas. Easily my number 1 favourite. Definitely another great film for Tim Burton, though this time he only produced and wrote the story for the film and created the characters. Henry Selick directed this movie so well. It's a beautiful stop-motion animated film. It's one of the greatest Halloween films ever made. Also one of the greatest Christmas movies ever made. It's definitely my top 3 favourite Christmas films. That's right up there with It's a Wonderful Life and Die Hard. I love the timeless musical numbers. It's an amazing movie that whether it's Halloween or before Christmas or Christmas, any time of that year, I will put it on and I will always enjoy it. So yeah. But yeah, those are my top 10 favourite Touchstone movies. So in the comment section below, what are your favourite Touchstone movies? Tell me down in the comments, and thanks for watching, and may the force be with you.